What's going on, everybody? The world's a better place because you were here to join us. My name is Matt Brown, and I am the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. It's a Tuesday, the 21st of April, 2026. And we had another interesting weekend in this crazy world of ours as we headed to late April, a 420 weekend if you celebrated. Unfortunately, this is my first 420 and celebrating in about 8 years, but that's okay. And it
Still
was a,
time.
I guess technically, but we got that. We had a great sports weekend. Um, the Strait of Hormuz was open for 10 minutes and then closed again. But what else is new? So lots to do, lots to get into as we talk about what's trending in our world, in sports, news, entertainment, and culture. So we got two guests. First, we have our OG in this, Ryan. What's up, Ryan? It's great to see you, Ryan Page, as per usual.
Yeah, happy to be back as per usual.
And introducing for the first time, joining us, we are very, very excited to have her. Coming from the country of Mexico, we have Pam Garcia joining the Productive Conversations podcast, making her debut. Pam, we are so happy to have you. What's up, Pam?
Hola, everybody. I'm so pumped to be here. So excited.
Oh, man. We have great times ahead indeed. Opening our horizon, adding to our team, adding to our family, and the Productive Nation appreciates you being here as we talk about what's going on in the world. All right. And before we get into the fun, I just want to remind you to like and subscribe to the Productive Conversations podcast on all podcast platforms and YouTube. And don't forget to check out exclusive content regarding the show across all social media platforms. We're on Instagram at Productive Conversations Podcast, X at Prod Convo Pod, TikTok at Prod Convo Pod, Facebook at Productive Conversations. And as always, check us out on all podcasts and platforms and YouTube. So busy week already available. We have the NBA playoffs discussion. Me and Fresh Faces talked about that from the start, from the first weekend of the NBA postseason and all the game ones being discussed. So that's available. Me and Alec Reeves talk about baseball, this week in baseball, and what's going on. The Mets imploding, the Cincinnati Reds on the rise, Aaron Judge versus Mike Trout. And we introduced a new segment called Name That Player that Alec suggested, and he got none of the players I asked for. So you can
Of
see
course.
that a little later. But and we also, me and Ryan previewed the NFL draft.
Go
We
Jets.
did that. So me and him talk about the options for Fernando Mendoza, the New York Giants trading up, trading with the Cincinnati Bengals to get the 10th overall pick. So
Mhm.
now 2 first-round picks for them, 6 teams picking twice in the first round, and we'll see how the NFL begins. And no Diana Rossini talk for that one. But
No.
nothing else to add. But I have to say, Ryan, it was announced that the AJ Brown's still available, and the Patriots are a huge favorite.
Well,
Just
I
saying.
just I just cannot believe that Adam Schefter would sleep with the head coach of the New England Patriots to get that information. So,
He's
This is
and
all
how
TV. Wow.
and also Kay Adams predicted that the Giants would trade with the Bengals of all teams, and that happened. And of course, people were
well, yeah, that's
being
the
rude.
as much as obviously I that was a joke, but
Yeah,
now people are taking anytime a female reporter reports anything to be. And that's obviously why a story like this is, well, one, so viral for sports fans who are predominantly male, but also why it's super, super difficult for women in the field because now everybody, again, as I joked about it,
truly
but no
whack.
one is accusing Adam Schefter of sleeping with anybody to get information. But Kay Adams, because she's a woman and because Diana Rossini had an affair, is being subjected to the comments. So that sucks. To be just blunt about it, that sucks.
Well, hopefully, we all grow up a little. But we have those 3 shows: NFL draft, NBA playoffs, this week in baseball, and then we will have a reaction to the NFL draft on Thursday after the final pick is made as we react to the first round. That will be available on Thursday night. And then we're here doing our normally scheduled tweet cap for this Tuesday and back at it on Friday to talk about what's trending in the week ahead. So lots to do, lots to get into, new friends, old friends, and we're about to have a great time talking about what's going on and have a productive conversation about it. So here we go. Pam, you ready to make your productive conversations debut?
Yes, I am.
All right, glad to have you. And Ryan, glad to have you as always. So here we go. It was Coachella once again, Coachella night 2, or I should say weekend 2, if you will.
Hmm.
And when we came into it, people were excited about Carol G, Sabrina Carpenter, of course. The return on a larger scale, Justin Bieber came back and made a huge impact on the music world. He comes in and performs for hundreds of thousands of people, goes extra viral, and people are really excited to see Justin Bieber back. So weekend 1 brings in the Kid Leroy, brings in Thames, brings in, who am I missing? Thames, Kid Leroy. I don't know. Well, regardless, he has his friends there. He performs with the laptop. Weirdly gets mixed reviews for that. But if it isn't wrong, if it's not bad, you don't have to. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Because he comes back with an almost entirely different set. And in my opinion, Justin Bieber killed it once again. This time he returned to the main stage on Saturday night, with this time with guests that included SZA, Sexy Red, and Big Sean, all joining him on stage. He did bring the laptop back, but this time he's playing some new hits. Bro brings back You Smile. Bro brings back One Time. As Long as You Love Me. But the big thing everyone's talking about, Billie Eilish. She lived every girl's dream who ever had a crush on
I'm one of those.
Billie, on Justin Timberlake. Sorry, Justin Timberlake. On
Justin
Justin Bieber.
Bieber.
Excuse me.
That's gonna ruin the tour, man.
Let me rephrase that. Billie Eilish lived the dream that everyone who was crushing on Justin Bieber had. He sang and performed One Less Lonely Girl. He brought out Billie Eilish and sang to her. She was the one less lonely girl. What a moment. This even got an endorsement. I think it was Hailey Bieber who pushed her on stage.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Well, that's permission, if you will. And yeah, that was the big thing everyone was talking about. And in other things, Sabrina Carpenter performs once again. She brought out Madonna, which I think was cool.
Legendary.
I literally texted my parents, listen, it's your generation and my youngest brother Tommy's generation coming together. These are legit texts from the group chat. My mom said, OMG, I would have loved to be there. My dad says, yeah, boy, with eyes. And then he says, the queen setting the princess straight.
Oh, wow.
So that's some boomer opinions there. But all the love. So we had that.
Yeah.
That as well. And it was pretty cool. But focusing on Justin Bieber again.
Mm-hmm.
Now, back-to-back weekends going viral, showing the deep catalog he truly has. And now we're all waiting and people are anticipating whether or not if he will announce a world tour. But let's begin with your first words here, Pam, on this. Tell us what you thought of the Justin Bieber set on weekend 2 of Coachella. And what did you think of what happened?
Oh boy, do I have stuff to say. Honestly, I was one of those Billy girls who always wanted to be in that stool in the One Less Lonely Girl song. I had the posters, I had everything. I went crazy. Yeah. I'm never gonna forget the first song that Justin Bieber put out, which is Baby. And I was listening to the radio with my dad. Like we were on our way to someplace. And I was like, Dad, turn it up. And like he turns the music up and he's like, oh, she's really good. Who is she? And I'm like, oh God. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna play it. And then eventually moved on. And I did move on from his music. I kind of didn't really follow as much. So when I saw that he was gonna be at Coachella, I didn't really follow it. I was like, I mean, I don't really know his new music. I haven't listened to it, haven't been like on the loop as much. And then I heard that, and I heard One Time, and I heard all of that. And I was like, wait, what? Something's going on. Something's happening. And I went into it and like I saw all of this, and it's so okay, it's so nice, but it's also so genius because he hit it on right there. Like he knows exactly what he's doing. Because I work in marketing, so everything up here is a marketing perspective. That is genius. That is a strategy. It's not only representing like the dream that all of us millennials girls had, but also like it's literally representing the nostalgia trend. Everything's coming back. Madonna is back. Disney Channel is back. Like everything's coming back. Like all of that. Hannah Montana is back. You know what I mean? Like all of that.
That's true, yeah.
It's part of the nostalgia trend. It is the trend, and he knew exactly what to do to hop on it, and give him that like the spotlight a little bit while he announces the tour or does something else. And that just represents like how much he like you said, Matt, like that just represents how much like the lack of production is not a problem. He didn't need lights, he didn't need an outfit, he didn't need a band. He had his laptop and a microphone. Like that's pretty much it. And everyone went crazy because it's about the nostalgia part, like the singing with the younger self, the videos, the one less only girl. Like it's genius strategy. So that's why I was like, okay, now I get it. Like that, I have to give it to him. Like that's genius. Like, and I'm just like, am I gonna be a believer again? Like I have had the CD on loop for the past 2 days. But yeah, no, I think it was so nice. It was so genius. He brought all of us back, and it was something super nice for her. I didn't know the story about Billie. I didn't know that she was like the #1 fan and like literally started music because of him. So not only a
Yeah.
genius strategy, but like yeah, like and it's like also making her dream come true, even though she's already a celebrity. Like that represents like she still does have like all those kind of like kid dreams that we all have to yet fulfill, maybe. So
That'd be
great.
like me and Victoria
Yeah.
Justice, but I didn't listen to her music.
Oh my God.
But to be honest, like to your point, Pam, you're right. Like obviously the original One Less Lonely Girl thing was
I
somebody
love that
taken out
song.
of the audience. I know my sister wanted to be when she went to the
It
MSG
was the
show.
very 14th of
Um,
February. None of them spent with you.
but
Yeah.
but by doing Billie Eilish, in addition to bringing back the trend, like you said, it's also using a celebrity. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like saying your favorite celebrity, I'm their favorite celebrity.
Yeah,
I mean, to be
exactly.
honest with you, like
And they're not even that
it,
far apart in age either.
no, they're not. But I mean, he's been just doing it for so long, so it kind of does like I don't want to say big
He
dogs or
has a
anything,
20-year
but
career almost.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I think it does remind him, like, yeah, he's like a young father, and yeah, he's a young guy. He's only a year older than myself and Matt, right? But
Yeah.
but he's like, yeah, your favorite celebrity grew up listening to me, so he's like carving out
I
like
like it.
he's carving
Yeah,
out like his nostalgia credentials in the way like
exactly.
again, no one is like, oh, Madonna, what's she doing here, sort of thing. Like she could just show up. And I think Justin
Exactly.
Bieber's like, I mean, 20 years in, I think I could probably just show up. And I
Exactly.
feel like that's what he did by having a celebrity in the chair
Yep.
with him instead of
Yep.
picking somebody out of the audience or like again, it'd been sweet if it was like his wife. Like there's things you could have done that would have been sweet moments and probably viral. But by doing that, I think it was very specifically a statement, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
And as I mentioned, the big reveal that last week I was a Bieber this whole time. I was a believer this whole time. And I hated Justin Bieber as a kid out of pure jealousy. And but then I come to realize I've been listening to his music my whole life. Naturally had a lot of his songs on my
Yeah.
favorites playlists. And I accepted being a fan in college. I like that specifically the song "I'll Show You" was when I was like, okay,
Oh
this guy
wow.
got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the "Love Yourself." I don't think the album's "Love Yourself," but the
I know
one
the one
he had
that Love Yourself
"Sorry,
is
What Do
on
You
there.
Mean?"
Yeah.
And also I liked
Yeah.
him and Chance the Rapper, "Confident."
Mhm.
And then yeah, he had definitely in the last 10 years has had his struggles personally and professionally.
Mhm.
And then he released an album last year, Swag and Swag 2. Didn't listen to much of it either. But from the Coachella 1 set, I wound up putting a lot of these songs on. Like I Think You're Special. I love um Go Baby. I love Daisies.
Mhm.
And yeah, there's might be the big reveal this December when Matt Brown's Spotify Wrapped has Justin Bieber in the top 5. That's really trending this
Yeah.
way.
Mine would 2 probably, but like the My World's 2.0 international version. So
It'll be
very
such a
specific.
transition from Metallica and Kanye and Travis
Oh wow,
Scott
true.
and the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and then we have this. What a
Yeah,
time! But I guess that's what
um,
happens when you are more comfortable with yourself, if you will,
yeah.
and you just like
Speaking
what
of
you like.
comfortable too, I just wanted to say, like, if he is really going on tour, and that has not been confirmed, that's kind of a rumor, right? But if he's really going on tour, then I mean, it'll be interesting because I mentioned, 100,000 people at Coachella 2 weekends. That's obviously gonna help like get some of the rust out of the, gears. He's not performed for a long time. He has had his struggles. And so having those two really big shows definitely could be a part of like getting prepared to go back on like a real big world tour. But also the lack of production on these two performances does make you wonder like what is he gearing up for? Because that
Yeah.
would be strange to do a world tour, a stadium tour with the setup that we saw at Coachella. So it could be either he's not
That'd
doing
be
a
a very
tour.
profitable concert,
Well, I mean,
if
yeah,
you
there's
will.
no, there's no like cost involved. He just brings his
Yeah,
laptop
Yeah, but
and
be very
asks some local
disappointing.
friends. But I'm like, will that sell? And I don't know.
I
Maybe the
think
answer is
so.
yes. Maybe
Definitely.
that's what this was to show. Like, yeah, this went super viral with no production. I don't know, but it just would be very interesting to see if this is really his warm up for a world tour, what that world tour ends up looking like, because this is definitely not the typical like stadium show. The typical stadium show is what Sabrina Carpenter did at
True.
Coachella, right? So
Yeah,
it'd be very interesting to see.
What did you think of that? Did you get to see it, Pam? Either of the sets? I didn't see.
I did.
I saw the first set from weekend one, and I only saw the Madonna performance playing like a virgin, which is pretty crazy. It really is a passing of the torch in
Yep.
pop. It really is.
Yeah,
She's done Material
I think it's
Girl
genius.
too on her on her tour. She does like a wheel of musical whatevers, and Material Girl is one of them. So she's done like Madonna on tour a few times
She
without
knows ball.
Madonna. Yeah.
But yeah, shouts to those people. Am I missing anything? Honestly, I think if he goes on tour and the tickets from weekend one, weekend two tripled in value, especially for Saturday night because
Hmm.
of him.
Because they knew, yeah.
I think this would be Eras tour big, maybe
Could
even
be.
bigger, honestly. I'm gonna do a different nuclear opinion, but I'll do mine now so you'll get two. I think if Justin Bieber never took a break, he would be bigger than Taylor Swift. Maybe this concert honestly kind of shows it. And nothing against Taylor at all, but I think because he has had the longer career, technically, and always just had a major influence that I think it's worth discussing. I understand people may disagree, but if we see anything, he just picked up where he left off like that. And not a lot of artists can do that. And imagine if he really stayed consistent with it. I think you would see him be a Michael Jackson type.
I mean, we actually talked about that, and I won't. My response was, I doubt that, but not because it's impossible in terms of his skill level. I just things happen. I believe things happen for a reason. I believe he obviously had hardships, and those hardships happen for a reason. I don't think you can subtract that time period where he had to take a break from his overall career story. I mean, yes, if you do, who knows where it would be, but it would be fundamentally not Justin Bieber. It'd be a different person altogether.
Yeah.
But I do get what you're saying in terms of like, had he had all that time to continue making music, and if it stayed on a trajectory, then who knows, right?
And all the hits and him being featured. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
something I have to hear. I have to say. Do you agree or disagree, Pam?
I disagree as well, but because
All
I'm a
right, it's
major
time to kick
Swiftie, so
you
I'm
out.
like fully
I'm just
biased.
kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. What were you saying?
Yeah, I think I'm fully biased here because I'm like the biggest Taylor Swift fan. So
Yeah, yeah. So we gotta have a Swifty off with our with Alice and one of our other co-hosts.
yeah, we'll just
Mhm.
leave it at that. But he did great this weekend. But I agree. It was genius.
Perfect. You can love both. Two things can be true at
Exactly,
once.
exactly.
All right, all right. Well, with that though, let's continue, and we will wait to see if the tour gets announced with Justin Timberlake. I did it again. With Justin Bieber. Sorry. Justin Bieber. We'll see if Justin Bieber will announce a major world tour this summer. All right. Since this is now an international podcast, we
That's
can
right.
share something that the whole world can be fascinated by. So, have you ever heard of this phenomenon, Earthset? We have the sunset, but maybe the Earthset. So, we remember Artemis 2. They went to the moon earlier in the month to orbit it, check out, make sure everything's okay over there. They splashed down. They splashed down on April 10th. There was the commander Reed Wiseman. He actually posted something that blew everyone's mind if you saw it. So Wiseman posted an iPhone video of Earthset, the moment Earth slowly sinks beneath the lunar horizon, taken from the docking hatch window of the Orion spacecraft. The clip has been viewed over 8 million times earlier since this morning. In the caption, Wiseman explained that he, quote, could barely see the moon through the docking hatch window, but the iPhone was the perfect size to fit the view. And that was the shot that, quote, uncropped, uncut with 8K zoom, describing it as, quote, quite comparable to the view of the human eye. While Wiseman filmed it on his phone, crew member Christina Koch was, quote, hammering on a 3-shot bracket through a Nikon with a 400 millimeter lens capturing professional Earthset photos. But let me show you two this. This is recorded on an iPhone 17 Pro Max, the phone I have. Maybe you two have it, I don't know. But this is definitely a flex. I have literally seen people call this the greatest iPhone video ever recorded. This is Earthset. This is Earthset.
Okay.
Look at that.
Yeah, look, it's just sinking behind the
Right? And he got that. He got the
got it clear
focused.
there.
Got that
Oh my
focus.
God.
Wow.
The zoom on the moon is insane.
I know, right? He's just right there. Literally look at the sky right now. It sees you too.
Dude.
There it goes.
No way.
That's crazy.
And now it doesn't even look like a planet. It just looks
Nope.
like a weird little
And there it
blip.
goes.
And there it is.
Insane.
Earthset, everybody, for those watching on YouTube
On YouTube,
and listening on Spotify, Apple, and all podcasting platforms. Yeah, you literally just see this little dot get smaller, 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 and I guess that's the day in the moon.
Yeah, right? I mean, or whatever, however long it is there.
Why don't more people appreciate this stuff, man?
We've been told not to.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Loser
and not everyone
behavior.
kind of
Well,
like,
no, but seriously, everyone's like, "Oh, waste of money, all this," and it's like, and it's not even like as much as I'd love to blame like angry evangelical boomers. It's not them either. Like, what's his name? Anthony Anderson. He was not a fan. He said we shouldn't waste the money going to the moon or whatever. Like, it's people from all different walks of life, and the general consensus is enough folks who sounded important said we got to stop looking to the sky, and it just got repeated over and over again until eventually it became the default setting, I think. But I will say breaking, or maybe not breaking, I don't know. It's a rumor for sure, but probably true. Uh, the president of Apple is actually stepping down, the CEO of Apple, Tim
Tim
Cook.
Cook.
So, if you're taking over for Tim Cook, if you find yourself in the unenviable position of being in charge of Apple now, I think I have your first ad. You
Yeah,
just
right.
take that footage, Don't edit it. Just be like from space, iPhone
Hmm.
17. I think again, that's for free. You don't even have to hire me. You don't have to give me any credit. You can if you want to, but I do think you have your first advertisement.
Amen. That is like literally when Matt said like the moon, everybody. No, that's Apple, everybody. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly what it is. Like, because as well, my mind is like very marketing focused. So like it is perfect strategy. And like I'm sure he didn't even think about it that way, like Reed. But it is, and this made me think of two things. One, uh, genius Apple's strategy, genius. I want the phone. I'm not gonna get it because then we're gonna get in trouble. But like that is perfectly genius strategy for selling and for promo. And two, doesn't that video make you feel this small? Like it
A
is
little bit, yeah.
like completely that's what I felt. Like we all have these like issues in life and like we're all like running around and like so like I don't know like life's just crazy and then like we see videos like that and you're like and I live somewhere in there and the world is this tiny up there and it's like there's so many things bigger than us that like you worry about little stuff and it's like we're just in the same
I know,
place.
right?
Like it's crazy.
Well, I think that's the other reason why people don't like space,
True.
actually,
Proves the
is
point that
it
it's
well, it
not that
does.
deep.
We are like as people, we're definitely very like centric in that that's
Mhm.
at the individual level. All individuals are typically mostly concerned with like their family or their core group. But just, species writ large, we've always been kind of the master of our domain, right? Like
Mhm.
humankind has always been the dominant force on Earth, for better or for worse. And the idea that as dominant as we feel here, right, in our home, and again, you could be the most powerful person on Earth, the richest person on Earth, you are still, like you said, on a tiny part of a tiny part of the universe.
Exactly.
It is humbling, and I think a lot of people don't want to be humbled. I think a lot of people,
That's a fair point.
yeah, feel very highly about themselves, and thinking too hard about how small we really are isn't great for ego, right? So I
Yeah.
do think that that might be some of the reason people are not interested.
That is, yeah, I mean that's
Me, I'm scared of heights, and that's why. I'm not. It's not that I'm not interested,
have you
but
seen that one of them? I think it was Christina, I'm not sure, but somebody from that cruise said like that they thought they were afraid of heights until they went
they're
to space.
no, no,
They're
they're right.
afraid
By
of
the way,
gravity.
100%, they're right.
I
That
like that.
I agreed with that so much. If
Yeah,
I thought I was afraid of heights, but that's not true. I'm afraid of falling from a very high place.
gravity.
Well,
Yeah,
yes, gravity is what actually scares me. Gravity and snakes. So,
fair.
you know,
Yeah,
I'm
Smelly people
same.
scare me. Mhm. But yeah, that was pretty cool. What an accomplishment. And I hope that next year, as planned, we can see Artemis 3 actually land on
lands.
the moon.
It's already on the plans. That's crazy.
I know.
And
Yeah.
it's going to be a great time until then. Okay. So now let's continue the international trend. We have the FIFA World Cup hosted in North America this year, the United States, Mexico, and Canada. But the corrupted FIFA hit a major rift between all of us. So we do have the championship at the FIFA World Cup, the the 2026 FIFA Cup final, which is taking place in July. That will be played at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, where the New York Giants and Jets play. They actually renamed the stadium. For the next 2 months, it's now New York, New Jersey Stadium, not
Oh
MetLife
wow.
Stadium. That FIFA told them to do that. So they told them to do that. So you could get
That's
the
not going to
FIFA World Cup
confuse
final.
anybody's Uber driver, by the way. I'm
No.
going to New York, New Jersey Stadium. Where the fuck is that? That's exactly what a New Jersey Uber driver will say to
Yeah.
somebody who tells them that.
Yeah.
Half of them still call it the Meadowlands.
It is still the neighborhoods, the Meadowlands, but I know
Yeah,
what
I
you
know.
mean.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Half of the people that will be driving your Uber will definitely call it the Meadowlands.
I
Uh,
I used to live only 20 minutes from the stadium, and I'll share that story after the segment because I used to
mhm.
go past that every single day. to go to the gym. But yeah, it was absurd what they announced this past week, and the New Jersey Transit Authority actually confirmed. Fans traveling from Manhattan to MetLife Stadium for the World Cup matches will pay $150 for a round trip ticket. A ticket that usually costs $12.90. This is now 12 times that price for a 15-minute, 9-mile ride. $150 for the World Cup final. On-site parking will not be available for most fans. New Jersey officials expect around 40,000 fans to use mass transit, including Uber. NJ Transit officials defended the price. They said, quote, "This isn't price gouging. We're literally trying to recoup our costs." He actually said that. The New Jersey Transit mayor actually said that. The New Jersey's new governor called on FIFA to cover the transportation costs and warned the state will not be, quote, subsidizing World Cup ticket holders on the backs of New Jerseyans who rely on NJ Transit every day. Other venues are doing it a little differently. Los Angeles is keeping it at $1.75, Atlanta $2.50, Houston $1.25. I'm jealous. Kansas City is doing $15 round trip shuttles. New Jersey is going to be the outlier here. And if you want to drive instead, you could go to nearby parking, which is normally $6 a day at the American Dream Mall. It will now be $225 to park there that day.
God.
And if you want to take a bus from the city back there, they are making it a little more affordable at $80 for a shuttle fare.
New Jersey Transit buses are running for $80.
Yeah, for the World Cup final.
I wasn't actually going to say anything, but I'm going to now. I worked for New Jersey Transit for about a year. We knew this was coming while I was there. People talked about this while I worked there. Obviously, we were still a bit of ways out. The buses are not worth $80. They do not have a rapid bus transit plan. At least they didn't have one while I was there, which was, in fairness, a decent amount of time ago. There's going to be massive delays, again,
Yeah.
provided nothing has changed in the interceding years from when I was there. And that's just the bus service. The reality is everyone is going to be taking cars, either their own car as close as they can get, or an Uber, and it's going to be a nightmare for everybody getting in and out because, frankly, MetLife is horrible for traffic, generally speaking, when it's just a regular sporting event or concert. Having the World Cup final is going to be that times a million. And yeah, the price gouging is bad. But what's worse is they're price gouging and they can't even deliver what they're promising. Like, to be blunt. And that's, to me, the worst of it all. They're recouping costs on a service they will not be successfully providing. You can go ahead and bookmark that.
Wow.
I know, dude.
Yeah.
You just wonder why people are stressed out, why people are mad, why people are making these weird decisions when you literally have to pay $150 to take a train, $80 for
A
a
$12
bus.
train. A $12 train is 100. One thing if this was a new train that they built for this,
Yeah.
okay, or a new train service they're running along an existing track, but this is going to be direct. No, this is an existing train you could take right now for $12. But in July, it's going to cost you what, 150. And also, if you're working in July, you have to find a new way to commute, or of course, pay $150. Yeah, bad plan. I do hope the governor of New Jersey, I hope she's not bribed with a FIFA Peace Prize
Ha.
and does actually make them change this
And
because
this will be the biggest sporting event of the year, no doubt.
oh
Biggest
yeah.
in 4 years. And that's a life-changing day for a lot of people. And you're going to make it more stressful. And you're just literally everybody there is filthy rich. That's the only way you can think it. And or really has some connections. I don't know a person living in this area who is going to the World Cup except somebody who was parking my car in the city. He got the hookup, and there are 2 tickets, $4,000 each. I think it was the Or he's Morocco. It's Morocco versus I
That's
can't
the
think of.
hookup? 4 grand?
Well, that's how much the tickets are worth. I guess
Oh,
he can
Yep.
sell
I
that.
don't know what he paid. I thought you were saying he
No,
paid 4 grand.
no, he didn't. He got the tickets for free.
Oh, well, that's great.
And but they're worth 8 grand together,
Yeah, no,
which
that's
is
great.
bizarre. I just want to double check if you don't mind. Morocco FIFA game. It would be Morocco versus Brazil. So that's a big one.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, especially that's
for
going to be
Brazil
in
too.
Newark
Yeah.
or
Well,
whatever
right
it's going
around
to
or
be
10,
in,
10,
yeah, Meadowland area.
15 minutes. And yeah, that is going to be a big
Br
deal. And
Brazil's got a
most
huge
people who
following there.
most people who will be there are probably not Americans.
I mean,
Fair to say.
just generally, right? World Cup's going to draw a lot of
Exactly.
international
Right, of course.
people.
But those are the ones who are going to put out the most, because we always talk
True.
about New York City culture, how a lot of tourists are the ones who are paying these prices to get an experience or getting these luxury penthouse apartments. Um, and it's interesting, and I'll just continue that. But I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm really excited for the World Cup a lot. I'm gonna be locked in. I already got 2 people gonna podcast with me on that, and it's gonna be a great time. You must be excited too, right, Pam? Mexico's
No,
been a great
not
team.
at all. I am
Oh, then
so
never
tired of
mind.
it already. I am done. Like it is, but again, it's because I'm in a marketing perspective. So I'm not like working on it anymore, but I worked on it for like the last 3 months on like with different
Ah,
brands that are big on the World Cup. My city right now is one of the most important ones, which is we have the BBVA Stadium, which is one of the coolest ones. We have 4 games there in June.
oh,
And
okay, cool.
yeah, it's like one of the coolest. So I do agree, like, okay, yeah, it's fun. We're gonna have the World Cup, like, okay, great stadium. But the city is a mess because our lovely governor and president thought that we could have a metro line ready for them. And it's not even close to ready. The only thing that it's causing is traffic and accidents. And it's
Mm.
like it's not gonna be ready. So like they are all like pumping up, like, oh yeah, FIFA World Cup. And it's like, yeah, but the city's a mess. And like it's not only but like the air quality is so bad because there's cars everywhere. So like exactly to your point, Ryan, like this is gonna just be even worse. And exactly like the tickets for the I was gonna say the shows. See my brain, but for the games here are also kind of like 2 grand, 4 grand, like it depends, and not even Mexico playing. So it's like it's
Yeah,
like not none of them in the country. So it's crazy. But yeah, again, prices are going high as usual, and it's gonna be like even if on a daily basis my city is a mess, it is going to be even worse. But we'll see. I don't know. So good luck to everyone who's going or who's coming to see the World Cup over here in that stadium. It's worth it, but I don't know if it's worth the traffic and the Ubers and all. I don't
I'm
know.
saying go to for folks thinking about the USA, go to Philly. That's what I suggest.
it will
Obviously, you
go
won't
from
see the.
4 grand to 3 grand.
Nah, I bet you it'll go lower because I
I
bet you
mean,
people will be so hyper focused. Like when you think of the cities that they're doing, I mean, the other city that comes to mind is Boston. No one's gonna be like, I want to go to the Boston version, right? They're at New York, right? There's Miami, there's Los Angeles, there's Atlanta. Those are like hubs. People are gonna go there. People gonna want to go there. Philadelphia is not gonna draw the same crowd. Boston's not gonna draw the same crowd. To me, that's the cheat code for the best possible version of experience in terms of people and cost. I feel like those are the two.
I'm
yeah,
just checking really quick on the Philly prices. So they're getting 6 matches,
Hmm.
and you could get them from, I guess, a little more affordable. So we have Ecuador versus Ivory Coast for $908. Brazil and Haiti about 1,040. 845 for France and Iraq. That's
Boom.
it.
There you go. France and Iraq. 840. That's literally that's I mean that's what 3K less than anything in New Jersey.
You could see Carousel versus Ivory Coast for $300. That's what they're starting.
Love that. I don't know
I
where
mean,
I don't know if I know where either of those are. But love that. I know
valid.
they're both in Africa. I do know that, I think.
Yeah,
Maybe not.
well,
Actually, I don't know where Curacao is. That's probably not. Saying it out loud, it definitely doesn't sound like an African
We'll
country.
see.
Well, either way, we'll definitely have a lot of World Cup content for you on the Productive Conversations podcast in the coming months, especially in June and July. So get ready for that. All right. I do have a heartwarming story to share. It at first looked like it was going to be really bad, but it wound up actually turning into a moment of heroism and a great celebration. So there was an unfortunate event in Pauls Valley, Oklahoma, a town of 6,200 people, about 60 miles south of Oklahoma City.
Mhm.
It was a normal day, but Victor Lee Hawkins, a 20-year-old former student, walked in the lobby of Paul Valley's high school armed with 2 semi-automatic handguns, ordered everyone to the ground, and attempted to open fire. But his weapon jammed on the first attempt. He cleared it, tried to fire again and miss. However, we have the principal. This principal right here. I mean, how do I pronounce his name just to make sure? He became a hero. The principal of the school jumped in and he stopped the gunman from attempting any harm. He did get shot in the leg in the process, but he was able to stop them until the police came, and he really became a hero. A beautiful, beautiful story. And you know how, by the way, Kirk Moore is his name, the principal Kirk Moore. He came in and ran right towards the shooter. And even though he got shot in the lower leg during the struggle, he was able to secure the weapon, and Hawkins has been arrested since, and he's now in custody. Moore, the principal, he's a 60-year-old district employee for more than 35 years, airlifted to a hospital, and he was safe, and no students were harmed in the incident. Just 2 weeks later, they had their prom, and they named him the Prom King. So we have a story here from NBC News to share this beautiful moment.
Our king, Kurt Moore.
Watch this incredible moment at Pauls Valley High School in Oklahoma. That's the school's principal, Kirk Moore, being crowned Prom King. Students cheering and clapping all around him, celebrating the man they consider a hero. This is him earlier this month, tackling a former student who entered the school armed with a gun. Moore was shot in the leg, but still managed to subdue the gunman and is being credited with saving countless lives.
I could not be more thankful for him. He really is just a savior for our little town.
Our king.
How sweet, guys.
That's
Listen,
incredible.
I know this is a dangerous, stressful, and annoying world, but every once in a while, we really see what an actual brave person does, putting his life on the line for his students and faculty, and he was able to pull this off. I am absolutely amazed. A lot of admiration for Principal Moore, and really glad that it wound up the story went in this direction than the opposite.
Yeah. That's just
Yeah.
it, isn't it, right?
Right?
It could have
That's-
gone in the opposite direction.
It's nice to share something truly positive from this. A
Right.
lot of our stories are negative or just straight up funny. It's nice to see an actual moment of heroism here.
Agreed.
Yeah. I
So,
think that
yeah.
also speaks about like not only putting his life on the line, like you said, but it's like the vow to your profession. Like that explains it.
Literally.
Like it literally is. Cause like I think like we all think about like, oh, which like profession do you think has like the biggest vow? And you would say something medical, like people, doctors, in hospital, which is true. I agree. You have to have like a huge vow and love for the profession and dedication.
Oh, yeah.
Because your life is always on the line. But it doesn't have to be that like industry for you to have that same vow. Like he did it for the students. He did it for the school. He did it because he knows, you know, like this is going on and it's like a huge problem. So he didn't he put his life on the line, but like because he's the principal, like that just shows that like it doesn't matter what your profession is. If you have the vow to it, like you'll stand up for what's right all the time.
Yeah, no, I agree. And you're right. It's someone had to do it. And obviously he felt strongly as the principal that meant him. I guess the only thing I would say is I would love, and I mean this sincerely, that we never have to cover a story like this, as positive
I
as it
agree.
is.
Mm-hmm.
Because that would mean we're not asking principals or teachers or custodians, whoever it may be, in any given moment, to subdue an armed individual to save kids. We shouldn't need to have to save kids at school. They should just go to school and come home safe.
Exactly.
And so I do think that that is the underlying story that is hard to ignore. But given how often, like you said, Matt, it ends up so poorly, it's nice to see somebody doing something heroic and frankly, it working out. No ifs or buts or anything like that. It worked. Everyone is okay. And it's just nice to have that happen when so often that's not the case.
Very
Couldn't
fair
say it
point.
any better.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better. And if any of you haven't watched the drama movie, it has something to do with
I
this.
do want to
So
see that. We haven't
Yeah,
seen it yet,
Zendaya
but
and Robert Pattinson.
Pattinson, yep.
I do
I
plan on
just saw it
seeing
at the
that.
movies, and it's
Yeah, I've
mind-blowing.
heard it's great.
So yeah,
Definitely want to learn more down the line what you think about that. But Robert Pattinson is my favorite male actor, even though people think it's Timothy
oh, get ready.
Chalamet. Oh, okay, I like that.
There's
I've
another
said here,
one too, Our Hero Balthazar, which has a similar, not a similar plot to the drama, but it's got a connected plot, which I also have
Oh,
heard good things about. I would like to see. That one is not obviously getting as much attention,
yeah,
but
Ryan, that's a movie I haven't even heard of.
oh
I haven't
really?
heard of
It's
it. No.
the kid from Sex Education on Netflix, the British one, who's like the main character. He's in it.
That's a
And
dark plot.
what is it?
Okay.
Asa, I think his name's like Asa Butterfield or something. Um, but yeah, so no, he's I wanted to see that one
Yeah,
too,
it
but
says here a wealthy teenager tries to gain his crush's attention by posting videos pleading for stricter gun laws. As an online troll begins mocking his videos, he becomes convinced the troll is a mass shooter and travels to Texas to confront him. Oh,
yeah, yeah. I would highly recommend you watch the trailer. I thought it was well done. I'm super interested to see it. But yes, that is probably the most succinct, non-spoilery summary Sans
Yeah,
trailer that you could get. Obviously, the trailer's not a spoiler either, but it gives a little more context to all of that.
yeah, let me
yeah.
see. It's been out since March 27th. Is it available to rent? Da, 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 da. Don't think so. Not yet, at least. So, all
I
right,
can't believe
okay.
you never heard of it. Wow, this is maybe
Oh,
probably the only time in productive conversation history that I knew about a movie.
Damn, it was clear. I guess there was since it's a bold premise. It was rejected by Sundance and South by Southwest.
Hmm.
Okay, so it's still available in theaters now.
Yeah.
The closest one, yeah, there's one in the city. You could go here. Okay. All right, so I guess that answers the question. But I will definitely check it out.
yes.
But yeah, just stay safe out there, everybody. Seriously. Okay. So let's transition to this. So I had to put that fitting that story with what I'm gonna say next is funny. But the Jackass franchise. Oh man, the Jackass franchise. You know about Jackass, Pam?
Just now, till today.
Oh,
Really?
today. Okay,
You
okay.
never heard of the Jackass, the show Jackass?
No, no.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
But it
So
was
if
interesting.
what everybody the best way to
Interesting's a word you could use if you wanted to. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
before any of these influencers pranked pranked each other, did stupid stunts, it was Jackass that started it all. Simply the Jackass franchise, if you will, is basically a bunch of knuckleheads, self-proclaimed knuckleheads, who go out and do crazy stunts. From Johnny Knoxville, Bam Margera, Chris Pontius, the late Ryan Dunn, Steve-O, Dave England, Wee Man, Preston Lacey. Yeah, a lot of us millennials from the United States grew up on that. I loved watching Jackass as a kid. And then they had the first movie in 2002, then Jackass 2, Jackass 3, then some spin-off movies.
Hmm.
Well, if you enjoy the Jackass series like I have and others for the last 25 years, well, it's coming to an end, unfortunately. The fifth and final Jackass film is officially titled Jackass, Best and Last. And the trailer came out at CinemaCon. It will hit theaters on June 26th, 2026. Hey, how about that? 6/26/26.
Exactly.
It will be a mix of brand new stunts, archive footage, and never before seen material. The trailer, which I don't think is available to the public yet, but it included a robot administered prostate exam, genital shock collar, and what is billed as, quote, the escape room from hell. In Jocksville, emotionally at CinemaCon said, "My name is Johnny Knoxville. I'm not trying to get emotional, but this is the last Jackass film the world will ever see." And yeah, Ryan,
Yeah.
did you like Jackass growing up too?
Not particularly. I didn't
Like,
hate
did
it.
you
It
watch
wasn't
them,
bad.
or like did you watch like Wild Boys or Viva La
No, I
Bam?
watch
Then
when I
there's the
would watch
movies.
when I would watch something, it would be the Jackass crew. They had a TV show too, didn't they?
Yeah, it was originally a TV show.
Yeah, yeah.
Started it
Yeah,
on
so I watched the
MTV.
TV show more so than the movies. I've seen some of the movies, like just generally
I've seen them all.
after, but no, I mean, I know who they are. I know that they are famous. I know they say all good things must come to an end. I would argue
Yeah,
that this proves that all things come to an end. But no, I think that for some fans this will be a really big deal. Um,
Yeah.
but they are not getting any younger,
yeah, they're in
right?
their 60s now. We will
Yeah,
literally watch a movie of 10 people in their 60s getting kicked in the balls by a bull.
correct. So it's like at some point, given their chosen profession, they had to stop. They've already slowed way down. I mean, they find people to do the crazy stunts, and really at this point, the OG crew sort of acts as like host, not host, but like they kind of like set up the stunts, and they'll do a few of them. But I mean, I've seen the most recent Jackass movie, and they had other people who were not them doing a lot of it. So, yeah, it's time. It might even be past time. I won't quibble with that, but I'm sure people will see it.
Then again, it is kind of part of the nostalgia trend. Like it is a
Well,
trend.
that's right. Yeah, this is part of that nostalgia of, and again, more specifically, they're using archival footage. They're using their younger selves and stuff they never released. So yeah,
Exactly.
it's definitely digging into the nostalgia both for them and also for just, like their old stuff, their old selves.
I won't lie. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be like I'm 13 years old watching that again.
See?
I'm in
Genius.
there.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, yeah. That the guitar and one
The
of the fun
guitar
facts.
riff, yeah.
So it was originally an MTV show, and that's who
Yes.
started it. And Paramount's gonna produce it. So Johnny Knoxville said on Howard Stern that he actually first pitched it to Lorne Michaels and NBC for Saturday Night Live. Jackass was originally going to be a Saturday Night Live segment, but then
Interesting.
it wound up spinning off. I don't know if they outright rejected it or they tabled it somewhere else for like a deal, because maybe I think it might have been MTV gave them a better deal than just a 5-minute short segment. They gave them a whole
Yeah.
TV show in like 20 episode order. And yeah, who would have thought if Jackass was an SNL property?
I wouldn't have lasted even half as long as it currently has.
And yeah, like these guys literally are doing the stuff people are trying to do on social media right now. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But-
they're cool.
and they tell
I mean,
you,
they're
they literally
60
tell you
too.
before every single episode, they say, "Don't try this at home."
But beyond
And
that,
all
I
these
mean,
people are trying it at home. And I think he said, "Yeah,
yeah.
we watched it."
Yeah, exactly. No, listen, everybody. That's to say that I'm a wrestling fan. Every time before a show, they'd be like, "Don't try this at home." We were still hitting Batista bombs on my little sister because that's what you do, right? So I don't care about. But the difference is the people who do it now on TikTok aren't likable, and
That's exactly
I
it.
am an old man, and I understand that part of the problem is me, and I accept my part of this issue. But also, I think even if I wasn't an old person, they'd still be fairly unlikable. And that's the difference. The Jackass guys, they are likable. They're charming in their own very Gen X sort of way.
Yeah. They know what they're doing.
And you know what I mean? Like they are the definition of charming Gen Xer. And so it works better than obnoxious Gen Alpha, Gen Z TikToker because nobody likes that group of people.
Literally, we talk about that a little sidetrack with, the Knicks starting their playoff run. And all these fans come out during the playoff season, but now people are starting to comment, see, this is just some Nepo baby in the West Village or some
Yeah.
trust fund baby who lives in New Jersey. And
That's who's
what
going
it
to be
makes
getting
sense.
the train, by the way, to the New York, New Jersey stadium for the
Yeah.
finals. That same group of people. Have you seen the TikTok trend where people turn off turn off escalators and like block them by standing?
What do you get out of
Um,
this?
they film themselves blocking people on an escalator. I'm like, I
They're not getting
can't.
a highlight.
No, yeah, we're
On
not
this
going to
show.
show it. Yeah, we're not going to show it. But I'm not a particularly violent person, right? I'm not. I'm absolutely hitting you if you do that.
And
I
I
just
think,
am. Because get out of the way. I mean, bare minimum, I'm shoving you out of the way.
and the Jackass people who do the stunts and pranks,
They never did that.
Yeah, they're professional
Never.
about it. They don't. The thing about a prank that I think these influencers don't realize, you're not supposed to ruin someone's day out of it.
Right.
They really are ruin people's days and lives.
And it's not entertaining to me if I'm actively being annoyed by it too.
Yeah.
Like the Jackass people shot themselves out of a cannon in like a field that I don't even know in Bucks County,
Yeah.
Pennsylvania. That's fine. I'm not in Bucks County, Pennsylvania.
Only
You're
the
allowed to
difference
do
is
that
these influencers
go
will
ahead.
do it.
in the middle of like the King of Prussia Mall to keep the Pennsylvania thing alive. That's full of folks. Don't do that.
Such wild behavior, man.
It is.
But we will see where it goes. And I know, having said all this for our last segment, promoting a Gen Z doing a prank, but I think this is
What a
actually kind
segue.
of funny. I think this is harmless personally. Maybe a tad bit annoying, but I think it's harmless. But there's this
I'll be
guy,
the judge of that.
But
Cam Hazelton, who goes up to people in big public stores or the library and says, "Hey, would you scream at the top of your lungs for $20?"
At a public store?
Yeah, like here's Walmart, him doing it. Let's see how this all unfolds. Would you scream at the top of your lungs for $20?
The top of your lungs for $20? No. All right.
It looks like Trevor Lawrence.
Would either of you two scream at the top of your lungs for $20?
You would be the person to do that. I think you are.
I mean, you guys could do it together and split the 20.
You need that. You need it. No, I don't.
Which one needs it?
I think he does.
He does?
No, I'm the single one. You got it really pop.
Going once? Going twice? Sold. All right, have a good one. Would either of you all scream at the top of your lungs for $20?
Probably not.
Wouldn't do it?
No.
All right, fair enough. Have a good one. Would either of you two scream as loud as you could for $20?
Hell yeah.
It's got to be like loud as hell, though.
I'm talking about loud as hell, man.
All right, let's get. Appreciate it. Yeah, have a go. You want to do one?
Yeah.
Is it gonna be louder than his? All right, I'll pull out another 20. Would you scream at the top of your
Listen,
lungs?
I
pretty
won't
loud.
lie. I would have done it. It's expensive in this world.
I mean, it's not even like they made you say anything bad.
Yeah, just scream.
You could just be like, hell yeah, responding
Hell
to...
yeah.
Like exactly, just do what he did. Frankly, I think he was almost there in his response to yes. I think if he had just turned the hell yeah up a little bit louder, he would have
That
been owed
would've been it.
$20. I don't even think he had to do the other scream. That was for the love of the game, if you think about it. But yeah, I don't see what's wrong. I mean, if they're like say something like inappropriate,
Offensive, yeah.
then no, of course you don't do that. Now, it is probably annoying. I'd be annoyed if I was walking and someone yelled right next to me and I'd be like, "Oh, what's going on?"
And,
But
yeah.
but that
I'll let
one
that- I'll let
I'll
that
give you
go.
that. That's yeah, that's not like ruin my day annoying. That's like, yeah, some kid was yelling in Target annoying and then you just
Yeah.
go about your day.
Exactly.
switch a little though. We also have right here him yelling at the library.
Oh,
What-
not
See,
there,
this
I
one's
would
not
be-
as good because there's rules against that.
Scream as loud as you could for $20?
No.
How much would it take?
You can't buy me.
Thank you. Would you scream as loud as you could for $20 right now?
No.
How much do you think it would take?
Fuck off.
Okay. Sounds good. Have a good day.
Yeah. Asshole.
Asshole? Why am I an asshole?
Go away.
Okay. Would you scream as loud as you could for $20 right now?
No.
How much would it take?
A lot more.
A lot more than that? Alright. It's dead quiet in here. If somebody screams, oh, it's gonna be good. Would you scream as loud as you could for $20 right now?
No.
No?
He works there.
I mean these weird videos now.
It's the library now.
I figured I'd try. You know? Would you?
Absolutely not.
Alright, fair enough. Thank you. You too.
Looks like $20 wasn't enough in that
See?
library, so make sure you follow to see me give away 50 in the next library video.
50's not enough either, I'll tell you that.
I was literally
He
about to say
respectfully walked away.
50's not enough either.
that. No.
I need 3 digits
I
to
will
even
do-
consider it.
Same.
I'd do
same.
$40. I'll do
No.
25
Come
bucks.
on.
Nope. I need
I'm
3
kidding.
digits. I need 3
For a-
digits to the
for a
yellow
li-
library.
to the library.
Yeah,
I guess
library
so, 'cause
specifically.
I don't want to get banned from the library.
And they got specific rules there. Like, again, is it
Like, at
rude
least
to
that's
scream
100.
in Target? Yes. Is it against the rules? No.
No.
In the library, they have specific rules. So now you're not asking me to be rude. You're asking me to break a rule.
Break the rules.
I must get compensated correctly for that sort of behavior.
Yep.
How about we switch it up then? Let's go from the library to Home Depot.
Oh.
Screaming still?
Yes. At Home
You
Depot.
you could drop something on your foot. They'll think you really hurt yourself. You can scream as loud as you want.
Exactly.
As loud as you could for $20 right now?
No, I wouldn't.
Wouldn't? Alright, have a good one. Would you scream as loud as you could for $20 right now?
Probably not.
Alright, no worries, have a good one. Everyone's saying no to
I
20.
do like
Let's
that
win
they
on
all
steak and
laugh
make
at
it
it,
40.
though.
Bink! Would you scream as loud as you could for $40
Gambling
right now?
ad.
Should right here.
Yeah. Thank you. Have a good one. Sorry, somebody startled me.
Okay.
Tickled me from behind. Would you scream?
I like that everyone at Home Depot laughed. Even those just said no did find it very funny. So you know that one guy who was shopping heard a scream and then laughed again because he knew exactly why somebody randomly screamed in the Home
hilarious,
Depot. But no, I mean again, it's rude, but he's handling it, I think, as best as you can. I don't understand why those would go viral. I don't understand the profitability of these videos. I mean, I do.
You'd be
conceptually.
surprised.
No, that's what I mean. Like, I do physically understand the profitability. I just don't understand the consumer psychology that makes people say, I want to spend hours on my phone scrolling through videos of this man asking people to scream in public.
Yeah.
I don't want to see anyone in public when I'm out in public. I don't know why I would spend hours watching them from my phone. But
True.
I'm not a psychologist, so I can't possibly comment.
All right. Let's do our questions of the day. Pam, this is your first questions of the day segment. So I got
Yes.
3 for all of you. So here we go. Number 1. What is a struggle meal you secretly love?
Oh, I got a great one for this one. So this, well, I don't know if it's like a Mexican thing, probably isn't. But my grandma taught me this, and it's called pour soup. So basically in Spanish, it's sopa pobre, and it basically means you just do a soup with whatever you have.
Mhm.
So you never know what you're gonna get. So it can have rice, it can have bean, it can have chicken, it can have like I don't know. Like I've had pretty crazy ones. But like I really like it. Like I could ask it in a normal day when we have like all the ingredients and you can't do it. That's the type of recipe it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we
And
had something similar to that actually. Growing up,
really,
my grandmother would call it icebox, like the icebox soup,
that's
because
genius.
basically it's just you empty out the things that have been
Exactly.
sitting in your freezer for too long, and you put it into a
It
soup.
works
Yeah,
into a
no,
pot.
but
Yeah.
it's similar concept. Yeah, it's just like, all right, well, I have to clean out. I've got like this chicken, I've got these frozen vegetables, and then I've got whatever, some sort of extra thing. Let me throw it all in a broth,
Yep.
and now my freezer's clean.
you,
Exactly.
you know, there's a bunch of things I come up with more when I'm younger. The
Mhm.
boring answer, the true one, really is just eating pasta. I can eat pasta no matter what. Maybe specifically ravioli. We have a little kick to it at least, and meatballs. And then that could be expensive to make nowadays. But I love
Yeah.
pasta. But I used to love as a kid eating the combination of goldfish and pretzels.
Hmm.
I don't know why.
That's
That's
pretty valid.
interesting.
They worked. They were a great combo for some reason.
They sound like they'd be good, but I'm just that's interesting that you were like, you know what? I want both.
At the same
I feel like most people
time,
would grab one or the other, right? But
Yeah.
also, I'll say, when I was like a teenager and I'd be home alone, like after school, because my younger siblings weren't home, my parents weren't home, I absolutely would take like tortilla chips and shredded cheese, or if I didn't have any shredded cheese, I would take string cheese, like mozzarella string cheese,
ah,
and I would put that on chips. So if we're talking
Valid.
about like, the what you call it, hard times meal, is that what you call it? I forget what you called
Struggle
it.
meals. Yeah.
Yeah, that's to me, that's probably the truest depiction of that is putting cheese on chips and melting it in the microwave and calling it like nachos. You know what I mean? So that
Yeah.
would be mine.
I would say that, like, yeah, with the soup, like Nacho said, like Matt, your snack is like pretty valid. And if anything, I have another one is like probably like anything and throw it in a sandwich. Like put it between two buns and you're good to
Oh
go.
yeah.
Like no deal. So yeah, that's also one.
yeah. Oh man, what a time there. My
Oh
next
yeah.
question of the day: what's something small that instantly ruins your mood?
Mm.
Oh, I have so many. But these takes me back a little bit to the story on the escalator part, and for me, it is slow walkers. Oh my
Every
God,
day,
every single time. I can't.
especially in New York. People just
Yes.
people who are dazed or just on their phones and not moving.
Mhm.
Yep.
I see the bikers have a point, but the only point they have there. But those are annoying. You know what ruins my mood? Wet socks. Even the
Oh yeah,
smallest
that
little
does suck.
that
That does suck.
smallest little droplet gets in there, the rest of the day is ruined. I have to change everything. And oh, I feel the
It's
tingle
the
in my
worst.
body
It's the
thinking about
worst
it.
feeling. Yeah.
Or like stubbing your toe like on a corner, and I'm
Yeah.
just thinking like, oh,
Yeah. Makes you sing.
Mm.
Yeah.
literally, it's a button.
Honestly, mine is not all that interesting, but it is the truest thing I can say. The Microsoft Outlook notification on my phone. And I mean that sincerely.
Or
Doesn't matter
Teams.
who it's. Well, I don't did not put Teams on my phone specifically.
Yeah.
If you want to
Remember
reach me
that.
on Teams, it has to be within business hours.
Exactly.
But I do have my email on my phone for work,
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter if it's not work related. Sometimes it's just, the Washington Post sending me an update. Doesn't matter. Anytime I look at my phone and I see either a missed message, like, one that says like check notification now, or I see one come in, I instantly get sad. Not even mad. It is sad, I think is the
Yeah.
correct
Well,
way to view it. Um, and so the only thing that's tough about that is it's every time. So it's not even like, oh, this one thing happened, ruined my day. It can happen multiple times in a day. My day,
yeah.
my day can be ruined multiple times, sometimes in quick succession. So yeah, that's mine.
Pretty valid. If I had to add another one, probably it'd be like the storage almost full message.
I ignore that.
Uh, Yeah,
Tell me
well, I
when
mean,
it's
me too,
full.
but
Tell me when it's full. I don't even know almost. Almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, my grandpa would say. So we'll keep almost to ourselves until this is full. You need to make some tough decisions, you know?
yeah.
Hilarious. Um, my final question of the day before the nuclear opinions.
Hmm.
What's an unnecessary purchase you've made in your life?
Oh God. They're all pretty unnecessary,
But yeah.
realistically.
Like something you thought was gonna be so good or so cool, spend a lot of money, never used it, never bothered. That's an example I'm thinking of, or
I'd get in trouble if I said the answer I wanted to say, so I won't. Um, hmm.
maybe going to see the movie Larry Crown.
We did do that, and that was a waste of that money as well.
There was nothing to do in high school.
No, that was not a great movie.
There's gotta be something.
I'm thinking like I'm just generally I spend too much money on food, right? Like either it's
Yeah,
Uber
but don't we
Eats
all?
or like yeah,
That's
that's what I mean. Like
necessary.
that's not like a very specific me
Yeah.
thing. Um, so I feel like that's not a good answer, even though that's the first thing that comes to mind. Um, oh, I have one. And I wouldn't even call this a waste as much or whatever, but it was definitely somewhat under duress. When I worked in fundraising, I was talking to one of the volunteers within the organization that I worked with. I, worked a lot with unpaid volunteers who just liked the mission or whatever, and they were doing a fundraiser and they wanted everyone to contribute. And I was like, I should contribute something. Doesn't have to be a lot, but just, to show that, yeah, I'm going to be coming in and asking for money, but I'm here to support the stuff that you guys are doing too. So I open up my wallet. All I have is $100 bill. All I have.
No.
And this is for like a youth event. This
Can't
is for
say
youth
too bad,
stuff.
kids.
No. So I gave it to them.
Aren't you
Now,
generous?
well, I didn't want to.
They think for the rest of their lives, man, we're gonna get these suckers.
No, so I will say how this ends. Somebody who was much closer to these volunteers, because I was brand new at the time. It was just like I felt like I needed to give something. I had nothing else that I could give, so I just gave what I had in my wallet, and I was like, perfect. Did what I had to do. I can't really afford that right now because I just got this job, but whatever. Um, the volunteer I think clocked pretty quickly that that was a bit generous for a new hire, and told one of my coworkers, was like, hey, so we got a really generous amount from the new guy. I think it was probably too generous. Tell him thank you. And then they gave me the money back. Like the next that it was on a Friday when I got into work on Monday, my coworker was like, I saw so and so over the weekend. They wanted me to give you this and to thank you for your generosity, but that it was, more than expected or whatever, anticipated, something like that. They tried to be really nice about it, not say it. We know you're just got this job and you're broke as hell. Please don't spend all your money
Yeah.
supporting the people that you work for. So yeah,
Ha 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 ha.
that's
That's
probably
sweet.
one. That's one. And it worked out okay, but when I gave the money away, I was like, I should not have done that. Man, that's horrible.
Yeah, it happens. I think I have one, but I didn't purchase it, but I was like this close. And it is the one of the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Like I don't even couldn't believe I was gonna get it. Have you ever heard of the water flosser?
Yeah.
Oh, like a water pick? You like, yeah.
My
I
Wow.
like
dentist
them.
always says use those instead, but
I
I
like
like the
them.
other stuff.
You don't need it. Like I have like a permanent retainer and I was like, oh my God, I need this. And then like I brushed my teeth and like I finished and I'm like, I don't need it at all.
You
Like
don't need it, I don't think.
you don't need it. So it was
It
my
is helpful with the
It
brackets.
literally just
true.
gets out what's in between your teeth with water.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
like a water gun.
Yeah, it shoots out like a thing of water.
Ay.
And it's
That's not. It feels good actually. I like it, but
I just don't want
no,
that gug to go in my esophagus, if you will.
yeah,
yeah, well,
probably.
no.
But what was I gonna say
Ugh.
though? Yeah, I also have the permanent thing on the back of my front two teeth, and it is better for that because
Yeah,
you can't floss that
no, you
realistically, not
can't.
Merry
well.
Christmas. Hmm.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I know, but no, it's fine.
You know what it comes to nine with my unnecessary purchases with me is honestly sports jerseys and sports shirts that I have. Old Yankees that whether left in disgrace like a Robinson Cano. I got Emmanuel Quickly jersey who I thought he was going to turn into Jalen Brunson, but now he plays for Toronto and wasn't that. Um, what was it? There's another one that stuck out. I'm completely blanking. Oh, Juan Soto Yankee jersey for nothing. That's what I use to like. I painted my parents' pool and I used that to wear it. So I
See,
think
this
about
is why
unnecessary
I
jerseys.
That's fun.
I only, and this is something I got this jersey specifically, and I decided that this is the move from now on, right? I'm only gonna get jerseys from retired players who were on the team when I was a kid. So this is DeBerkshire
Yeah.
Ferguson jersey. He happened to actually retire as a Jet. He only played as a Jet, so that's even better. But like, no, I'm not gonna get excited about the new guy and put on his jersey and have him leave in 2 years. I want you to
Yeah.
retire, and then I will say you were a part of my childhood or you were a big part of my team's success. And I could do it for every team. I could do it for the
Yeah.
Knicks. I could do it for the Knicks are my team, I guess, just by, I had a team in 2010 and it was them. But the Mets, which are actually a team that I followed, again, the Jets that are a team I follow, I can do that easy. And then you never feel stupid for having the vintage jersey on.
That's how you know. All right.
Valid.
Let's do our nuclear opinion where we give our boldest takes, our best proclamations, biggest statements, our nuclear opinion on what's going on in this world right now. So we have Pam doing her first nuclear opinion. Would you like to bless us with it?
Yes, very exciting to say this. This could be a very hot take.
Ooh.
But I mean, it is. I know it is because it is. But anyways, my point being, I don't know how trendy it is right now, like with everything going on. But I know that it's a thing that a lot of people have a lot of controversial opinion on. I'm very fixed on mine, and that is that astrology is real. That's my
I
whole
agree with
nuclear
that.
opinion. Of course you agree, because it's true.
Thank you. Ryan is a skeptic on it. We even once had somebody who read horoscopes on the show, and she pointed out that him and his wife were perfect matches based on their horoscopes.
Well, I'm happy for that.
But he still doesn't believe it.
Well, no, I think we have to be fair. That was a longer episode, and I think I was very game and I was very open and fair because I was a skeptic. And yes, they did, some stuff like, oh, well, you and your wife happen to be perfectly compatible signs. Okay. I mean, that's cool. But they tried to predict who I was using astrology, right? They were explaining like a profile of me. And they did not know me. This is not like a good friend. It's not like Matt did it, right? Who's known me for years. This is someone who met me via camera and during the show.
Yeah.
And they weren't close, to be blunt about it. And they were so not close that Matt, who does believe in astrology, felt the need to also say that they really did not get it right. So, and again, by the way, it was a really fun episode. I enjoyed it a lot. This is not me insulting anybody. This is me just saying, like, as a statement of fact, I went into it and I did not leave being like, oh my God, this stranger knows me based on when I was born, at what time. And I literally contacted my mother to get the correct info to make sure I wasn't saying anything off. Everything was
She didn't tell you like
Everything was verified. No, my mom was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Because she asked, like, why do you need to know the time you were born? And I explained what was going on. She goes, okay, well, here it is. And I was like, perfect. So, like I tried very hard. I wanted it to be real. I did. And maybe in the future, someone can convince me otherwise. But the read was so off that it really did kind of make me assume that a lot of it's kind of luck. I will say.
Yeah, I mean it also is a part of it. Like coincidences and luck also is a thing.
Right, yeah.
And the thing is like everybody thinks that like your one sign, like your sun sign, your birth sign is it. But no, you have so much to it. Like actually, The sun sign is like the least I am like interested in. Like literally. Like at least is the top three, which your big three, which is like your rising, your moon, and your sun
Mhm.
at least. And then like everything else. Like the everything else is probably why you're compatible. So I need to know what your sign is so I can understand what's happening.
Well, we could chat. We won't take up too much time so we can get the episode going, but we'll
Yeah.
chat.
Yeah.
Certain as the sun, if you will.
Exactly.
So my nuclear opinion is that corduroy pants should be
Mhm.
accepted more. They should go back into style. I put on some corduroys today, and they're so comfortable. I don't care if
I
they're 80s,
agree.
60s,
No, I
70s,
agree.
80s fits. It's just like it's like a weird hybrid between a khaki and a special material sweatpants, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're awesome. Well, I don't know why we're not pushing them more. I'm gonna wear
Everything
it.
comes back around anyways.
Right, yeah, and it's we're hitting into spring, so I really only have a few months, like 6 weeks to go before it really starts kicking in. So, and they're good for a spring fit too. And yeah, corduroy pants are so underrated.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean,
everything in
yeah.
fashion comes back around, so don't throw them out. And it's maybe part of the nostalgia trend.
I
That's
So
was
like
just about to
that's
say
like
we've been
me with
talking about nostalgia. That's the through line of the
that's
evening,
it.
right?
Yeah.
like that's the one thing when I wear Crocs. I still don't get why people criticize it. They're comfy as fuck. Uh,
I love Crocs,
Well, we
so
talked about that. That is,
Sports mode.
well, yeah, that too. But also the where you wear them matters.
true.
I don't think they belong everywhere.
You're right.
If you're going on a date, you should not be wearing Crocs, right? You
That would
gotta,
be a comfortable.
it would be comfortable, but you
Or
shouldn't
the
do it.
airplane. Like, no. Yeah.
Well, the airplane is stuff because if you don't have like socks on or whatever, that's too much. People gonna smell too much. We don't want that. But
Exactly.
but no, it's like if you wear them at a formalish event, no, right? But if you're just
Yeah.
like going to the store, yeah, Crocs are fine, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
There you go. Ryan, take us home.
Yeah, so obviously, well not obviously, Matt knows this. WrestleMania weekend just happened. I did tune in. I was on the fence about whether or not I would because I've been on a boycott of wrestling since August, July or August,
Yeah.
whenever SummerSlam was.
August.
Yeah, and so I did watch. I thought I have my own opinions on it, but one of the things that I noticed online in the discourse about wrestling, and I've never left the wrestling Twitterverse, even when I stopped watching, my account was just too algorithmically linked. But I noticed people were just like, man, we lock in on one thought and we don't ever allow anything akin to nuance ever. All right.
Yeah.
And to put it in the proper context, the first night sucked. Doesn't mean the whole thing was bad. Doesn't mean I hate anyone involved. Doesn't mean anyone should get fired. Wasn't a good ending to the first night. It was kind of slow throughout the night. The second night was awesome. Like
The main
unabashedly
event,
awesome.
after rewatching it, it really was a great match.
Night two?
Yeah, the main
Yeah.
Punk and Roman. That's a
Yeah.
great match. That's
So, yeah,
that's gonna age
exactly.
well.
No, the whole again, the whole show is awesome for night two. And so I said that. And instantly it's like, well, you were. I'm like, yeah, no, I didn't like night one. I did like night two. Both of those can be true, but that was a foreign concept, it seems, to the fine folks on my Twitter page. So you're allowed to hold multiple ideas at the same time. You're allowed to change your mind too, if new information comes in. It's called nuance. What is it? The everything's not black and white. We live in the gray area. And Adam Sandler said that in 51st Dates. We all need to get just a little bit more accustomed to this gray area. It's not the black and white nonsense. We have to get rid of it on the internet. It's making it unworkable. Right? We can't talk to each other. We can't even post our thoughts on things anymore because of that mentality. So that's my nuclear opinion. is if you're too rigid to change, then don't share your opinion because it's not a good one. There you go.
Valid.
Love it, Ryan. Good stuff there. Pam, Ryan, great job as always. Pam, especially you made an amazing debut. Thank you so much for having a productive conversation, being very engaging. I'm sure me and Ryan agree that you were lovely to have on.
100%.
Thank you, guys. It's been an honor.
We'll see you throughout the rest of the week. Remember, back at it on Thursday as we react to the NFL draft, night 1, round 1, and we will see where these teams wind up going. Check out our NFL draft preview as well that me and Ryan did. Me and Faces discussed the NBA playoffs, and then Alec Reeves and I talked about this past week in baseball. Back at it on Friday with another tweet cap as we talk about what's trending in the week ahead. That's Pam. That's Ryan. My name is Matt Brown. I'm the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. We'll see you all throughout the week, and make sure you enjoy every second of it.
Bye,
That's
guys.
right. Later.